So again, you can do 3 passes, or you can do more if you're guided to. And this is one of the ones that's very exotic. When you look at it, it's sort of like, what is going on there, you know? Right? Okay, when you receive it, you're going to feel why this is a good technique. I guarantee you. It's definitely worth doing, but it's definitely one of the ones that looks very weird when you first see it done. Okay. And then from here, we're set up very easily to come into the heel to bum. So again, I'm just going to pivot my body a little bit. And I'm looking for another contour here. So now I'm looking for this contour of the top of her foot with the outside of my hip. And again, when I find that contour, I don't even need to touch her body. The foot will just naturally rest there, and it's very comfortable. So this is the quadricep stretch, right? Nice big quadricep stretch in yoga, right? This is very similar to what we do in yoga in that hero's pose. Right? We'll be lay back and stretch the quads like so. Okay. So I'm coming in close, and I'm just sort of feeling a little bit for her range of motion. So what I want to do is get her to her easy edge, get her to her easy edge, and then just before I sit down, I'm going to make a little to the side with my butt, just like when we did that practice where we sat all the way over to the side, right? So I'm coming into a comfortable edge for her, and then just before I sit down, I'm going to do a little boom to the side with my butt, sit down into it, and then just let her relax here. And I can use this hand just to stabilize the foot in place. Yeah? And then we'll just hang out for a minute, let her receive that benefit of that stretch. Okay. We do get a few yogis and people who have done so much of that hero's pose that this stretch just takes them to their comfortable range of motion and doesn't get them to that deep stretch, and that's okay, But for most people, again, the quad's one of the biggest, hardest working muscle groups in the body, whether we're athletes or we're sedentary, and really can benefit those big muscles from having a nice firm stretch. Yeah? And then we'll gently release and straighten the leg back out. Okay. So again, here I want to check that I've really got that inside seam of the leg on the top before we do this next technique. Sometimes, especially if you are freestyling and you've done a bunch of other stuff first, the receiver gets very comfortable and they start to kind of lay out like this. Okay. We want to, in this next one, we're going to do another chakra technique, and we want to really get that upper inner thigh and not be, here. Now it's the back of her thigh, or that back corner that you can see exposed. So if she has slid, all I would do, just like a handle, take the front of the pelvis and bring her back a little bit. Okay, so I really get that inner thigh. Okay, so sitting on the chakra, a very exotic technique. Okay, not always for everyone, especially when they're new to this work, but perfectly safe, perfectly comfortable, and oftentimes people will sleep right through it and not even realize that you're sitting on them. And I will show you another alternate version after we do this one. So this one, it takes a little more breakdancing, okay, than some of our techniques. We'll step the hand across, we'll step the foot across. Okay, so you're coming into a crab walk position here. You scoot all the way in, so your butt or your tailbone is against the receiver's butt, and then very slowly sit right down into it. Okay. Important not to plunk down, okay, because it is a lot of weight. And just like those other compressions, the receiver will be very relaxed if we come in gradually, but if we shock them, it's not going to be so therapeutic. Once you're here, you can even bring your toes over the foot, give a little mother energy there. We're just going to sit. Okay. So I could sit here and read the newspaper, check my text messages. No, of course we're not going to do that right during the session, because we want to be present, right? Our values and our presence, and so we're staying present to our mantra, right? If we chose that mantra like love or peace, that queen bee, to help keep our beehive organized, right? We want to stay present to those intentions throughout the whole session. So, and what happens as we sit here is we're actually going to start to feel the pulse. I can feel her pulse in my butt, just like we could feel it in our palms when we did the techniques with our palms. So Same as with the other ones, we'll stay here for 20 or 30 seconds. So we're creating a little bit of that tourniquet effect. And then when I come out, standing into the feet on the floor, very important when you come out, you can go up with your butt. Okay, you're not going to drag your butt down the leg. It's very uncomfortable and discourteous to the receiver. So very gently coming straight up and releasing. And then I'm moving my hips. Yeah. And you can feel that heat, again, traveling down the leg. So another option, if you feel like that's too intimate, and of course we can always use a towel in between us and the client if we want in some of these techniques that are closer into those areas. Another option for this one, very gently and tenderly, is to do it with the foot, okay? We have to be very sensitive, just as we were with the other one, okay? So gently slowly stand into the foot, and again, like a baseball coach, okay, I'm just lunging in here, bringing the weight gradually into the foot, hanging out. And then gently releasing, okay? A little bit different texture, but another way that you can work with the energy in that area.
You could do either one.
You could do either. And again, we had the question yesterday about, well, what about working near the groin and on the receiver and so forth? We're very close to the groin here, but Kim, does Kim feel any sense of like sexual energy in that kind of move? No, right? So it feels like a very therapeutic technique, even though we're coming very close to that area, because we're just treating it like we did any other part of the body. That palm walk, yeah, we're starting right here, but we're just walking very nonchalantly. It's another muscle. And these adductors, again, very thick, hard-working muscles right here in that upper inner thigh, and they really appreciate getting some work. And it's disappointing to the client, when we're so concerned about this area that we're massage, oh, I'll just stop here, right? Massage, oh, I'll just stop here, right? It's very disappointing to the client because there's a lot of very deep, big muscles around the groin, around the pelvis, around the butt that really are wanting a lot of work in the session.
And it's the attachment, many attachment.
Right. So it's an important part of our job as therapists to be able to get in there and to do it in a sensitive way where the client feels comfortable, we feel comfortable, and and where we can satisfy that craving to have that work in those big hip muscles, because they're important muscles to the body. Yeah. So we'll do a lunging palm press. This is the last one on the bottom of page 31. So I'm stepping my foot across again to just create this nice mother energy, and that helps to keep the leg in place. Okay? And we can do the palm press basically anywhere and everywhere on this entire leg. Okay, so you see it on the upper leg in your illustration, but can we also come down onto the lower leg? Sure. Okay? I can use one hand as mother energy and just work with the other hand. Again, the IT band area is a sensitive channel in the body, so approaching it gently at first. Okay, can I go right down into the side of the calf and hit some really, really nice areas in there? Sure, okay. So feel free if you like to do the whole leg in this position. And again, you can still see that movement coming from my belly, right? That knee is bending and straightening.
A shift in the
Shifting the whole weight, and my arm can stay straight. You want to be careful here because there is that tendency to slide. Okay, so we don't want to create that shearing energy as you do that. Not sliding, but just working straight down. And another wonderful area to work is right here, right in the side of the hip. Okay, so we've got.
I can feel it from here.
Yeah, so we'll take some time to do this when we practice on each other, right? We can get a lot of the glute here, and we can get the top of the IT band, those muscles in the outer hip. Okay, a lot of people needing a lot of work in this area, and there's a lot of relationships between those.